There, I was like the problem child. Like I would go, I would be there for a little bit, and then I would leave. I don't like it anymore. And then I would be like, okay, everybody else it sucks as well. Let me come back. Right? Like I'm like so looking forward to it. I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life? It's finally gonna get started right after kids. And the purpose of that training, it's like to go in within yourself and really acknowledge parts that I might not be conscious about right now on what my next level in life is.
Oh. Hello, everyone. So have you thought about building your own business? I know that sometimes it might be hard. Sometimes it might take a long time. But once you're there, also it's hard to keep it, right? Now, we're going to talk to an entrepreneur that has been in business for a long time. A long time. I'm not going to say her age. But it's an old friend of mine, and, you know, I love her to death. So, Ana Morales, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien,
How
muy
are
bien. You know what? I'm super excited to be here with you.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
You like the place, huh?
I love the place.
Yeah.
I love your podcast, obviously. So when you invite me, I'm like, yes.
Yes, awesome. No, I mean, I wanted to talk to you because, I mean, you know, you're an icon. You're an old, you know, I'm not going to say old, but you've been in business.
I am. I'm an OG. I'm
You're
an OG. Come on,
yeah.
let's say it. Let's admit it.
You're an OG.
I'm going to admit it.
You
yes.
are. And you've been through so much. I mean, you know, personally, professionally, and you're still on the top. You're still one of the top 8, you know, mortgage brokers here in the Valley. And I wanted to talk about that too. So, but first of all, for those that don't know you, if you don't, then I don't know where you're at. But let them know who you are and what do you do, and then we'll get to it.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know me, like all the newbies, right? Because Ana Morales, I'm a mortgage broker. I've owned my company since 2020, but I've been originating loans for 18 plus years. I actually started, obviously, when I was like 15 years old, right?
Wow, yeah, of course.
No, I'm kidding. No.
Didn't we all?
Exactly, right? That's the saying. Like, I started at 15. So I've been doing loans. I recently got licensed as a real estate agent. Actually, this is the first time that I'm putting it out there because I had not disclosed that yet.
I
did tell you.
This is the second time.
Yes. Obviously, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a hustler, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got to take care of my family. I'm a sole provider, meaning that I take care of my mom, my kids when they were little. Thank God we talked about this. 2 of my kids are already out of the house.
Yes.
Thank the Lord. I have 1 more to go.
Almost an empty nester.
Oh my God, yes. I'm like so looking forward to it. I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? It's finally going to get started right after kids.
So I was thinking on my way here, I'm like, wait a minute. I said, how long have I known Ana? And then I'm thinking about it. I thought it was about, I'm going to say about 15 years.
Gotta be more than that.
But then you said 18 years. I think I probably met you when you were barely starting there.
Brand new. You guys were like my first agents that, you know, that
With
I
Juan's
went
office,
after.
right?
Juan.
Yeah.
I had Juan Martinez in my head, right? Like, okay, that's who I'm going to go after, right?
Well, I mean,
when
we're
I
the
first
number
started.
1 Latino office in the Valley, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
yes.
And so it has to have been about 18 years or so.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's a
been
long time.
Yes.
Ya estamos viejos.
You've seen me mature.
I know.
And finally mature.
I know. So let's talk about business, okay? A little bit. I know that, well, actually, I want to know, what did you do before loans? What was your first job? Your first,
my goodness.
Go back.
My first job in high school, Pollo Loco, a cashier.
You worked at Pollo Loco?
Yes. I never really worked.
Here
I just
locally?
showed up, yes.
Which
my
one?
manager.
So you just showed up and they never hired you?
I just showed up and got paid. No, of course, but I never really did any work because I was like, I know. They would be like, Anita, can you please mop? I'm like, no, I don't want to. Can you ask somebody else? And the manager would be like, okay, fine.
So you were like the cutie one. They're
Yeah,
like,
of course.
you
I
get
was in
away
high
with
school,
stuff.
right? Yes.
So Pollo Loco, which
Pollo
one?
Loco, the one on Charleston.
Charleston and Lamb?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And that's still there?
because that's still there.
Oh,
That's
wow.
still there. Yes, that was my first real job, right? Like
Interesting.
part-time during high school. After graduation, I worked at a bank.
Uh-huh.
Worked at a bank. I became one of like the supervisors for one of the branches. And then I had my baby. So life kind of takes sometimes a different turn after kids, right?
Yeah.
After the bank, I became a fraud investigator for a cell phone company.
Oh, wow.
Which I think that helped me a lot on the loan side, because then when I started studying like the guidelines for how to structure loans, I was like, oh, oh, here's the loophole.
Look
Okay.
at that.
Now, now we can make this file work.
So there's
like
always something that kind of helped us along the way, right?
Absolutely, I think so, right? Like life
Yeah.
always shapes us,
Yeah,
like to who we become now.
You know what? Sometimes we go to things, or I go to things that are for maybe like new agents. Like in the office, we have like training for new agents or something, and I show up sometimes. And somebody asked me, like, why do you show up to this? I'm like, well, I mean, you never know. I mean, there's always something that somebody can bring up and that can help me, right?
Yeah, you know what? You just brought something. Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And in life,
until you know.
And you're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't know this. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like now let me use it. This is why for me, like I'm always, when life gives me a sign, like I always say like, okay, I'll go for it, right?
Yeah.
I take a lot of personal trainings, a lot of leadership trainings. Like I'm always working
Yeah.
on myself, right? Because I want to become better in business. I want to become a better mom. I want to become a better daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's always, and it's helping me. Like it's
Yeah.
always helping me. I feel like that's part of my success,
Yeah.
right? Because I do feel like I'm very successful.
course.
I'm enjoying life to the
Yeah.
fullest,
I
right?
can
It's not
see
just
that.
about money,
I can see that. Yeah.
but I'm enjoying life. I'm like living fully.
Yeah.
But also I saw the other side
Of
of
course.
somebody losing, like we lost my dad, we lost my
Yeah.
older sister. So it's like, you know what? I'm here. I better take advantage of
Yeah.
it. Like it would be such a waste of time and life if I
Yeah.
don't enjoy it to the fullest.
What got you into real estate?
A friend during when I was working as a fraud investigator for the cell phone company, a friend, she's like, oh my God, I love your personality. Like you should try loans, right?
Yeah.
And this was before the crisis, before the housing crisis. And I was like, really, loans? I've never really thought about it. Like,
Well,
what
this
do I
must
need?
have been like in 2003,
It was in
4, 5, somewhere in
2004.
there. Yeah.
2004, 2003, roughly. And I was like, okay, I mean, what do I need to do? She's like, nothing. Just bring in the clients. I'm all like, excuse me? Like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
how is somebody going to start doing loans, looking at financials, and not have a license or something?
Yeah.
So I started Googling, just like mortgage loans. And yeah, it said 10 hours, back in the day, 10 hours of classes. And then you submitted the application and you got licensed. You were a loan officer. And I was like, okay, sounds interesting.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And obviously, with that girl that had invited me, I started seeing like, I don't know if this is gonna work, right? Like,
Can we say who she is?
No. I will never disclose the names. And I was like, I need to look for something else. So I went on, I think it was the newspaper. I don't even remember. The newspaper, and back in the day, U.S. Capital Home Loans was owned by Century 21 Money World.
Mm-hmm.
So I got hired by them because they needed a bilingual loan officer.
Mm-hmm.
And they trained me. They showed me the business. And I loved it.
That was a thing back in the days. Everybody was looking for bilingual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I-10s back in
Yeah.
the day, right?
I mean, the whole shebang,
It's still right
primes
now,
and
right?
everything.
But
Yeah.
subprime, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started with U.S. Capital. I was there maybe 2 years. And then I went to Venta Home Loans.
Yeah.
I met
Yeah.
Jason Madiedo, and I was like, I fell in love with the company. I fell in love with their mission, their vision. And I was like, okay, I'm coming over.
You were there. You were with him for a long time.
I was there. I was like the problem child. Like I would go, I would be there for a little bit, and then I would leave. I don't like it anymore. And then I would be like, okay, everybody else it sucks as
Yeah.
well. Let me come back, right?
Yeah.
Like just that attitude. And I think I worked for them. I don't know. I'm gonna say maybe 10 years out of my
Yeah.
career. I kept going back and forth, back and forth.
And then were you also part of Meridians and then Altera, right? But you went to Meridians, right, with Miguel?
No,
Okay.
no. Miguel came after. Yeah, no, I wasn't.
What would you tell yourself from 18 years ago if you were to start over again?
Buy Bitcoin. No, I'm kidding.
There was no Bitcoin back then. No one had an idea
Oh
of
my
Bitcoin
God,
back
right?
then.
Like, I know. I would probably say be smarter on investing on real estate
Mm-hmm.
now that I have the knowledge. And this is the knowledge that I tell my
Mm-hmm.
kids at this point. But maybe start early, right? Investing in real estate. Like, don't be afraid of the market. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the market will always shift. Like, just learn to study it. Sell when it's a seller's market,
Mm-hmm.
buy when it's a buyer's market, right? Like, that's the bottom line. And probably the other one, start my company earlier on.
Well, I remember when I and I think you probably heard the same, but when I went on my own, I've heard of this was a fucking time.
Oh, I know.
I think you were probably one of them too.
Yeah.
But I hear that a lot, and I'm sure you heard that a lot when you open your business.
Yeah.
Just because, now sometimes I think timing has to do with it.
When people are ready to,
And then we always look back and say, I should have done this a long time ago. But then maybe it wasn't the right time.
It wasn't. Otherwise, you would have done it a long time
ago.
I
think God has its own plans, and
I agree.
I agree. Figure that out.
Yeah.
But why? How can you encourage other people? Like, let's say newer mortgage lenders right now. Let's say that are in the business, they are successful also, but they're also still maybe under an umbrella. Would you suggest for them to look out to branch out?
No, forget that. No, it's not worth it. No. I think the younger generation, absolutely. Honestly, for me, like I feel like I started it at an older. I'm 46. Okay. I'm 46. We're gonna talk.
We're in the same. Yeah.
I'm 46. I'll be turning 47 in October. And I started building a business. It takes 10 years.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to put in the work for at least 10 years, right? And then you can build a beautiful, successful business. But it takes a lot of work, like you said.
A recurring business, right?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Because you can do business in a year or two, and then
of course,
yeah,
yes,
but not be able to maintain it is the.
I agree. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
So how could you maintain a business? Let's talk about that. What's the key parts of that?
I think one of the biggest things is just mental health.
Okay.
Right? Like people got to work on their mental health. Like the conversations that we have, because we're like our worst judge, right? Like, I mean, for me, I mi chismosita, right? She's like, Anna, right? And I'm like, be quiet. I know what I'm doing, right? When I have my own conversation, like, right? Oh, are you kidding me? Like, no, yes, una chismosita. Yeah. If I'm wild, imagine my chismosa.
Yeah.
Like, don't give up. Like, I think a lot of people say, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
You know what? Be afraid.
Yeah.
Be afraid, because you got to be afraid when you want something. That's when you know. Like, you're afraid. You're like, oh my God, I want it, but I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
If you're not afraid, I think you're being complacent,
not worth it.
Right?
Absolutely. If you're not being afraid, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, be courageous.
Or you
have
settle,
the courage. Too. Or you're settled. Exactly.
Settled. Yeah.
Yeah, you settled. Yeah. So dream big, right? Yeah. Go for it. You will fail.
Of course.
What people think, it's a failure. Like, nothing ever looks beautiful. Like, it might look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, it's like todos los golpes de la vida, right? Like, life will give you punches, and you got to be ready for the punches. You're going to fall in la lona, right? Cuando estás en el ring, you're going to fall in la lona, and then it's up to you to get up again.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I took a punch. It dropped me to the floor, but here I am again. Yeah. I'm back up. Right?
Oh, yeah. You mentioned mental health.
Yeah.
And I know that's a big part, because when you're doing a business, when you're building a business, or not even building a business, but you're working with potential clients, I think that's very important. But funny enough, I remember back in, this must have been like 2009, 8 or 9, somewhere in there. You were involved, or you started going into this programs to self-development.
Choice Center.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember. Trust me, I remember vividly.
I'm still involved.
You still involved? I know. That's what I want to tell you, because I seen that you've gone up in levels and you're doing all this other stuff.
I'm still super involved, and I'm
How
going
did that
back.
change
Actually,
you,
it makes such a difference on the mental, like the mentality. Like you build new habits.
Yeah.
Like I started building new habits, and I think the biggest thing, right? Like the biggest thing for me was my mental health, because I don't know if you know like the whole story. Like when my dad passed away, when I got pregnant with Jocelyn, like everybody knew in the industry, when I got pregnant with Jocelyn, Jocelyn's dad kind of walked away, right? And it was like me going through the grief of losing my dad, being pregnant, and not knowing, first time in my life that I was living on my own with my kids, right? And I didn't have anybody to take care of me financially. And I had already taken part of those trainings. Thank God.
Okay.
Because that gave me kind of like the mental, like, okay, Anna, like this cannot break me. Like I have little ones that are depending on me. But also I started meditating. So that was like the two parts, right? Like mental health and my spirit.
Okay.
And once I started doing that, like I never stopped.
And you just keep going.
I keep going,
What
like
do you
every
do
time.
now at Choice?
My next training that I'm actually going to start in a couple weeks, it's called Journey Within. And it's a 6-month training, but you only meet 3 times out of those 6 months in person, and then once a week it's a call.
Okay.
And the purpose of that training, it's like to go in within yourself and really acknowledge parts that I might not be conscious about right now on what my next level in life is.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
So, and again, what we say, we don't know what we don't know, right? There's so much.
Yeah.
And I always ask for signs. And I had been invited to do that training for 3 years now. And I would say like, no, not the time, not the time. And the other night, I was like, okay, Diosito, like, tell me what's next. Because right now I'm in a phase right in my life. I'm 46. My daughter's going to get to be 18. She doesn't want to hang out with me sometimes, right? So I'm like, oh, my God, what do I do with my life, right? I'm done raising kids. So, like, give me a sign. What do I need to do? Like, just show me part of the way. And that video popped up for, like, Journey Within, right? When they're interviewing the trainer. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And right there, I register. I put my deposit. I didn't even question it. And I start in a couple weeks. Nice. So, yeah, and I'm always doing little things like that.
You know, we're always when we talk about business, we're always going to seminars, we're going to talks, we're going to lunch and learns, we're going to all these business development classes, or, you know, listen to speakers or what they do and what this and that. But sometimes we don't have the time, or we don't take the time.
We don't make the time.
We don't take the time. We don't make the time to actually go to those things, but by yourselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, I in life currently find myself that that's something that we need.
That should be the priority.
I mean, if you would have asked me back in 2009, I would have and I said, you're crazy.
I know. I know. Like, honestly, Alfredo, for me has been, I won't leave it. You know, it's been such a eye-opening for my life, because I want to live my best life, right? And I want to live it me, because we create it, right? Like, I create it. Like, people can blame everybody else, but I want to live, like, my best life. And that's why I love those trainings, because I go in deeper, like, okay, what exactly do you want? Yeah. You know, at one point before my sister passed away, she used to tell me, like, stop working so much. Like, you know, your kids need you. And I was like, well, somebody's got to take care of you guys financially, right? Who's going to do that? Like, I have to. And then she told me, she's like, learn how to do it. Learn how to balance your life, and you can still create the income you need to take care of your family, but make the time for them. And something clicked as well, right? Where I was like, it's not just about chasing money. It's not just about chasing a lifestyle. It's about becoming that you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, who's this badass person, right? That yourself, that I look in the, and I'm completely honest, I look in the mirror 97% of the time, right? Because there's that 3% that it's like, really, Anna? But 97, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, ay, right? Like, I've learned to accept me for everything,
that's
right?
amazing.
For everything.
And I've seen you grow. I mean,
you've seen me from the beginning.
From the beginning, and obviously you're totally different Ana Morales that I met a long time ago. But your personality is the same. I mean, you're still that energetic, happy, smiling person, you know, loving person that you were back then. Just things change and you adjusted, but then your personality never changed. So you never changed. Your essence never changed. Which is good. Sometimes we have to keep that. Because if you change that, sometimes you just become somebody you're not.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
Now, let's go back to business. Okay. What does it take right now for somebody to grow their business?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that. You're the successful one here in business, getting 200 clients.
You are. No, I mean, you know, I say it because, I mean, we all have our ways.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and whether I'm doing this may not be something that you do or that you enjoy doing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I enjoy doing videos. I enjoy doing all this stuff, and that's what's got me, you know, where I'm at and what I do. But what would you say? in your industry?
I think for every person that's listening, right? Like it's you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing. Build relationships. If you don't like recording yourself, making video like you do, then go out there. Find a networking event, a conference event where you can start meeting people. Work on yourself, right? I know a lot of the relationships that I built in business and clients. At one point, they're coming from Choice Center.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's because we're networking, we get to know each other like in a different way.
You build bonds, right?
We build bonds.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what I'm creating. And I love talking to people about, honestly, like how easy it is to build wealth using real estate.
Yeah.
Because it is. Like, you know, it takes time. A lot of people want to buy the first house and become a millionaire. And it's like, no, honey, like it takes, you know, like 10 houses.
Yeah.
But you can get there. It's
Eventually.
easy to get there eventually if you work for it.
But then some people some people are stuck on the, I want it now. I want wealth now.
I know, but
and it's so hard to change somebody's mind sometimes to like, look, this is a vehicle that will get you there.
Yeah, it's
but
a
you
marathon.
you can't expect returns like right away.
Of course.
Now even investors, I mean, you invest too. I mean, it takes time to build that little wheel that gets you
and
the return that you may want, right?
And some
losses
I lose.
too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when I first started flipping, I was doing maybe once every 6 months, a year. It wasn't like full time. But oh my God, there were a few of them that I was like, what was I thinking? Like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did I choose this house? I mean, there's one house that I bought like 4.5 years ago that I still have it because I'm still in the red with that house, right? Like, it was like, okay. But now I know, then don't sell at that point.
Yeah.
Like, hang on to it. It's still a property, you know, rent it out, and then build out.
Yeah. Do you have issues sometimes talking to clients about, sometimes I feel that you talk to clients and you're trying to advise them financially, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to advise them about the market, about this and that. But in their head, you're trying to sell them something.
Right.
And how do you try to change that?
I don't.
That mentality? You don't?
Mm-mm.
You just
I
avoid
walk
it?
away.
Okay.
Like, I stopped, honestly, like, for my mental health and my peace, because I love being
You
inner
turn away
peace.
Clients?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
I do.
I said that one and like, how you? I'm like, oh.
I do. Like, and you know what? You might not notice this because you're a guy.
Yeah, okay.
Women,
Okay.
there's men that don't like
I
to
get that.
hear from a woman telling them, like, hey, if you do this, I get that a lot. A
Well,
lot.
I mean, I get clients that want only to have contact with the female agent.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get that sometimes.
Oh,
Not all the time, but maybe one or two
interesting.
there. They ask for a female, so I refer them to one of my agents.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's
Okay.
fine.
That's fine.
have a
I
problem with
don't take it personal, right? I was
No,
like,
no,
you
no.
know what? Unfortunately, my voice is like this. I can't go deeper.
Yeah, right.
Like, so why don't we refer you to a man or
I
a
had
male
situations
colleague.
where I couldn't handle a client because we were so different.
Yeah.
That I had to refer them out to another agent that was more like mellow.
Absolutely, yes.
And that worked out pretty
Well,
good.
and that was one of the things that I learned at Choice Center.
Oh,
like
yeah?
the personalities, how
We
everybody.
mirror match, but sometimes it's like, come on, like I got shit to do.
Well, of course, of course,
know?
of course.
But
yes.
but yes, I mean we try that. We try.
Yeah.
Now, where you see the real estate market going, and then let's just talk about 6 months. I don't want you to go all the way
Oh
to
God!
like.
In 6 months, I think it's still gonna be the same thing.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
it's
Give
still,
me a year then.
Well, in a year, it might look a little bit different because obviously we already know that rates for sure after May
Yeah.
2026
Right.
probably
That's what I keep saying, and they're like,
after May 2026. Then rates would probably start dropping, right? They
course.
did announce that it was going to drop 7 times
Yeah,
for that
next year.
Next year. So that gives us hope,
Yeah.
right? I think with all the changes that are going on, I think the market, it's still going to be a seller's market for a little bit,
of
even when
course.
rates
especially
come down.
next year if that happens. I mean,
Even when
obviously-
rates come down, it'll still be a seller's market.
Yeah.
So my advice for some of my investors, right, that are like flippers, because some properties are just not selling and they're looking for a certain margin, I'm like, hang on to it, like rent it out right now.
Yeah,
Rent it
eventually
out.
next year.
Yeah, rent it out, get it ready for maybe like a year and a half from now, but at least you have an asset,
Yeah.
right? So I think we have one more year of like punches still,
Yeah.
like, you know, like hanging on hard.
Do you want to debunk this, or do you think the market will eventually go down, like people are saying?
Like a crisis? No, I don't think
I
that's
want
ever
to
going
ask
to happen.
because I mean,
and
so
this
that
is
way they
why.
hear it from somebody else.
So I am so like, you know, I love looking at the notice of defaults. I love looking at stats.
Analyzing
right?
data. Yeah.
Analyzing the data. And one of the biggest things that Fannie and Freddie and even HUD, they're doing is at one point they were accepting the forbearances for the COVID, right? And then they were like working with the clients and putting whatever they were behind, they put it at the end of their loan. So they're modifying the loans for them, right? As long as the client works and has
There's
an
a
income.
lot of assistance.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
The second thing is like, what is the percentage? I mean, I don't even know the percentage right now, but there's so many people that have so much equity on their homes.
It's over 60%.
60%. Imagine, like, who's going to walk away from that equity right now?
Yeah, there was over 40% of people that have their properties paid off.
Yeah.
And there was about 60% that had over 20% equity.
So
Nobody.
what properties are exactly going to come on the market? The properties that could come on the market are from unexperienced flippers that they oversaturated themselves with expensive properties that maybe those homes, but even the amount that we look at, it's not going to be a crisis. It's not going to be like what we saw in 2008. Like it's going to be
I don't
just
think so.
a price adjustment.
Yeah,
right?
I think more of an adjustment. I think that's a key word.
That's exactly what I think, a
That's
price
what
adjustment. I don't think we're going to see any.
Anita, I really enjoy your time here. Thank you very much. Pero pues, mensaje
We ran out of time.
Oye, mensaje para tus fans.
Para mis fans. You know what? Like, don't let fear stop you. If you're afraid, go for it. Like, just be courageous, go for it, because once you achieve like the first goal, you are so proud of yourself that you're like, okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And let's build wealth, like generational wealth. I'm already thinking about my kids, my grandbabies. I don't even have grandbabies yet, but think about them. Think about long term and just start investing. Start investing in real estate. Ana Ivette Morales, tu prestamista de por vida, your loan officer for life.
Your number?
702-234-7862. I am not single. Guys, I am in a relationship. Do not text me or call me to ask me out on a date.
It happens. I'm sure it happens.
So I am here to serve the community. Absolutely. To be in service, and let's build wealth together.
Thank you very much, Mija.
Alfredo, it was a pleasure.
Grandkids?
I do.
You do?
I was meant to be a grandma, not a mother. I tell my kids that. I was meant to be a grandma, not a mom.
Well, I hope your kids will be watching this, and I'm sure somebody will take care of that for
I
you.
tell them that every day. Like, I'm like, hurry up, one of you. Not you, Jocelyn. She's 14. I'm like, not you.
Nice talking to you. Nice having you here.
Alfredo. It was a pleasure.
All right, we'll be in touch.
Thank
See you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Show.